You now have the one of the WBA lightweight titles, but Lomachencko is the super champion. That's a fight, obviously, that I know you want and people have wanted to see you take. Do you feel this moves you closer to that fight because you both have the WBA lightweight titles now?
I mean, saying moving closer to that fight is like he above me. I don't feel like nobody above me. I'm the cash cow, I believe so. At 135, 130, I'm setting out ranges. I'm putting butts in the seat, so I don't think he's doing that. So line him up. I'm a fighter. I'm willing to fight anybody.
Killing shit.
I'm ready.
You think he would fight you?
Of course, I think right now it's like people will fight me off of not being. I'm not trying to be cocky, but off of them making it's a big risk, but also it's a big payday. So a lot of people want to get paid. He's at the end of his career, I believe. So so not at the end of his career. He up in age. So he trying to make the biggest fights he can make at a short period of time. So everybody got that different path. I'm 25 years old. My stretch a little longer than his. So we're taking our time.
Okay, thank you. He was talking about Lomachencko, of course. If you don't remember, on the broadcast of Terrence Crawford versus Iglitis Kavalaskis just a couple of weeks ago, Teofimo Lopez had knocked out Richard Comey in the first round. And before the Comey versus Lopez fight, Lomachencko did an interview saying that, basically it seems as though Lomachencko has more passion to fight Gervonta Davis than Teofimo Lopez. That's the way it's been seeming from Lomachenkko's interviews and his demeanor when it comes to talking about Tank Davis and when it comes to, talking about Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to play that clip for you. Let me write that down because we're going to probably stretch this video out to about a half hour or so because I got some timestamps, some significant shit to talk about here. And in my personal opinion, there's not enough data for me to see that Tank Davis beats Lomachencko, especially with his performance, even though, no matter what he says, there's enough for us to see and make sound, assumptions are not sound, but what I'm saying is, like Paulie Malignaggi said, we can double down and pretty much say, like, it looks like he had a bad camp. With the whole weigh-in thing, even though he made weight, the way he looked later on in the fight, mouth open, sitting in the corner, breathing heavy. We don't really know how he looks at 135 pounds. That's why I'm not giving him too much shit. But Gamboa did have one leg and one shoe. And he was 38 years old. And it was at one point in time, what round was that? Round 10 or 11, where Gamboa was like almost begging to be knocked out, dropping his hands, just swinging, like 1 foot and everything. And it looked like he was trying to quit with earlier in the fight. And Jack Reese was like, nah, fuck out of here. Get your ass out there. He didn't, not exact quote, but he said, handle it next round. They started taping this shit up between rounds and shit. The shit didn't look good. It was a bad look. So right now, I'm going to say that Lomachencko beats him. And yes, it must be said that he has sold over 35,000 tickets across 3 arenas in 2019. 36,000 something. Crazy. 14,000 plus there last night. 8,800 or something when he fought before, and I forgot the other number. So he's selling tickets. Ratings, put it this way. He's going to get a career high payday too if he fights Loma. That's how it works in boxing. That's the Floyd Mayweather technique, saying, "Oh, you need me to make this money." No, you need him too to make the money you want to make. And right now, looking at this stacked 135-pound division, that's why he's keeping the door open for 130, even though it's looking like it'll kill him to get back down there. Looking at this stacked 135-pound division, it's like, yo, you can't be babied up here. You got Ryan Garcia. You got fucking Lee Selby up there. You got I'm not talking about Lomachencko, Devin Haney, Teofimo. Yvonne Mindy might touch him up. Jorge Linares fuck around, get stopped first round. I'm not gonna say that. Terry Flanagan will lay some hands on him. Terry Flanagan will be some nice work at 135. Like, there's some nice solid work out there. But the thing is, he's now a 3-division champion. with the 2019 he's had with Hugo Ruiz, Ricardo Nunez, and now 1 foot of Gamboa. I like the Gamboa fight coming in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, yo, Gamboa, man, like, but his fucking body gave out on him. Unless he's lying. We don't know if he's lying yet. But he said it looks like he ruptured his Achilles. And it has been said, me being a big basketball fan, it has been said, you know when that shit happens. So, let's get on to the next timestamp. And I really think they're going to pull up. I really think they're going to try to put him versus Leo Santa Cruz on pay-per-view. What other fight can they do? And then try to get the Loma Tank Davis on pay-per-view, just like they're working with Wilder versus Fury. And Loma doesn't sell at this point in time, hasn't sold as many tickets as him. Well, no, you got to count the UK. Wait a minute. No, them ticket sales should be like even. When you count, he went over to the UK to fight Luke Campbell. Put it this way. I don't give a fuck what Tank Davis say. My personal opinion, he's not the A side. If they fight Lomachencko's the A side. I understand he has to say that. That's the Mayweather side. That's how they are. Any Mayweather fighter, any Heyman fighter is never going to say, you know what, I'll take this amount of money. I'm pretty much sure when Heyman signs fighters, he always tells them probably, or whoever signs them and says, like, listen, make sure you never say, like, you'll take anything to fight somebody. Don't ever say no shit like that. Don't ever say you'll move down and wait. Don't ever say nothing. You always dictate the terms no matter what. You are the A side no matter what. That's how they roll over there. They know motherfucking deep down Loma the motherfucking A side. I don't like that Loma gave up his fucking belt. That franchise shit is some bullshit. Because you can't be undisputed. He would still have to circle back around and fight Devin Haney on paper. Even though he would be considered undisputed because he held the belt, but on paper he ain't undisputed. So they fucked him over with that. They fucked him over. Anyway, we'll be right back. Jump cut. Please subscribe.
You know, they're making, it's a big risk, but also it's a big payday. So a lot of people want to get paid, you know, like, you know, he's at the end of his career, I believe. So, you know, so not at the end of his career, he up in age, you know, so he trying to make the biggest fights he can make at a short period of time. So everybody got that different path. I'm 25 years old. My stretch a little longer than his, so we're taking our time.
Telling you about. Here's that Lomachencko interview I was telling you about if you haven't seen it.
You famously said, who is this Teofimo? Now he is a world champion. Do you want to fight him to unify?
Yes, of course. Now he's a world champion, and welcome to my club, and see you in April.
Welcome to my club.
See that fight in April. What did you see in Teofimo Lopez's performance tonight?
I can explain because it was just a couple rounds, and I don't understand what happened. This is boxing. This is. Вот почему мы его любим.
That's why we love him. That's why we love this boxing. That's why we love it.
In terms of his performance, did he do anything to impress you? Power, speed, anything that you saw?
He always has a power, and he's a smart fighter. But it depends your opponent.
2019 was a big year for you. You and Terrence Crawford 1 and 1A in terms of pound for pound. What are your plans for 2020? What do you want to do?
I want to unify title, and after that, I want to organize a fight with Gervonta Davis.
Vasily?
I want to organize a fight with Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, we need mics right here.
You said 2020 is a big year for you. Is there any particular fighter that you look forward to trying to fight in 2020?
I believe that I'm the top dog at 35-30, you know, so it's, you know, I'm a fighter, and I believe that I have the best team in the sport of boxing, so they do their job outside the ring. I'm a fighter, like I said before. Ain't no safety on this Glock, so I'm ready for them all.
But is he the top? Like I said, I don't consider him the top dog at 135 pounds. Even now at 130 pounds, he's not the top dog. you know, something tells me that they're going to try to make this guy go back down to 130 or try to have him cut his ass back down to 130. How do you feel? Now, here's the thing. I don't think he beats Lomachencko. There's not enough data out there still. Yes, it's impressive. Yes, he got Richard Comey out there. Yes, he can do that to anybody, it seems as though. But still, can he do it to Tank Davis? I don't know. Teofimo Lopez right now, he's where Tank Davis was a few years ago. Actually, both, you know, like 22 at the time when they first started really, really budding. Devin Haney right now, still a question mark around him, especially with him being on the zone, being able to get like the big fights he wants. You see already, Lomachencko was made elevated. I was really, really pissed off at that. I wanted Loma versus Haney, and Haney wanted to fight. But they're trying to get on pay-per-view. They're going to be fighting Teofimo Lopez on pay-per-view later on this, not later on this year, in April of 2020. But when it comes to Tank Davis's pay-per-view, for example, here, let's go to right here. Where does his pay-per-view go? Because remember, you got Errol Spence who has to have a pay-per-view. Manny Pacquiao's returning in April or May. And then you have Tank Davis, and then you have Loma versus Lopez in April. So we're looking at 4 pay-per-views in a 3-month span, is what you're telling me? Unless they push one of these to June, because they are aware they don't like for Americans, the promotional companies, to have 2 pay-per-views on like the same bill. Like for example, like they did with Wilder versus Fury 1, and then Pacquiao versus Browner. You know, they like if they try to give you pay-per-views, they want to make sure it's on separate bills, or they don't like try to over-compete with them or compete with each other, if it makes sense.
On this block, whoever
Fucking CBD, fucking shit, man.
could get it, you know. I believe I got the best
Leaking
team
all
in
over the
boxing.
place. Listen, oh my bad.
I'm thankful. I'm grateful. You know, I'm 25 years old. I'm just, you know, my cup never full. You know, I'm always willing to learn and things like that. So. Again, he's a good counter, so I wasn't trying to get counted, things like that.
Gervonta, Leo Santa Cruz said after his last fight that he really wants to fight you. How do you feel about fighting him and maybe moving back down to 130 to make that fight happen?
I'm all for it. You know, again, ain't no safety on this Glock. Whoever wanted could get it. You know, I believe I got the best team in boxing. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, you know, I'm 25 years old. I'm just, you know, my cup never full, you know, I'm always willing to learn and things like that. So, you know, any big fighters out there that's willing to fight me, you know, on this side, then I'm all for it. Let's get it.
I don't like when they talk on this side stuff. So, for example, let's do it this way, right? If he doesn't fight Leo Santa Cruz next, right? Who does he fight? He's a champion, so he's got to fight somebody ranked in the top 15 of the 135 of the WBA. We're going to wait for them to update their rankings in the next few days now that Tank Davis is champion. So he was number 1, Yuriorkis Gamboa was number 2, so now he's world champion. I would love to see Robert Easter. I think Robert Easter is going to get that number 1 slot. Ryan Garcia is also at 135, and he's talking shit on Twitter. Like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez have all watched the fight last night and all given their thoughts. Like shit real out here, Tank. This shit is real out here, especially with boxing. Like right now, we're in the broadcast golden age, in my opinion. This is the most televised boxing on multiple networks and sources we've ever had here in the States, for sure. I used to be envious of the UK with their Box Nation and shit, how they would have access to their fights, but our fights over here as well. Now with the Zone, ESPN Plus, you know, you got Showtime, Fox, you got fucking Facebook Street, everybody's competing. You can't be like Heyman, that shit, like he can't be babying his fighters no more. And what we've seen, he's not really trying to. Like, especially the top guys, they got to fight each other. Like, he can't put on bullshit pay-per-views no more. Like, he barely got away with Wilder versus Ortiz, too. especially on PBC, on Fox. They ain't playing that shit unless you try to pull some fast one on casual Billy Wagner, the executive vice president of sports programming over there. They be like, hey, this is a good fight. I'm telling you this is a good fight. Billy like, oh yeah, the same guy that said that fucking Wilder was selling out arenas everywhere. So don't get me wrong, Tank is good, and I'm not gonna hold and give him no shit, but it's like, bro, like, you know, who you gonna fight? Robert Easter, you know, fuck it. I'll cave. Yvonne Mindy. He had beat Luke Campbell. If you don't know, Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna were ordered to fight. Do you think that Al Heyman would tell Javier Fortuna, nah, don't fight him, we'll give you more money to fight Tank Davis? That's very Al Heyman-ish. That is very, very Al Heyman-ish. They didn't order Luke Campbell versus Ron Garcia or Yvonne Mindy again. Ew. To be the mandatory for Devin Haney. No, actually, no, here's this bullshit, right? The winner of Luke Campbell versus Javier Fortuna, if they were to fight, would be the full champion, having the belt that Loma was elevated from having. Devin Haney would be the champion in recess and basically be ordered to fight the winner of Javier Fortuna, Luke Campbell. And then, it's just a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. Here's Tank Davis's thoughts on Loma.
You now have the one of the WBA lightweight titles, but Lomachencko is the super champion. That's a fight, obviously, that I know you want and people have wanted to see you take. Do you feel this moves you closer to that fight because you both have the WBA lightweight titles now?
I mean, you know, saying moving closer to that fight is like he above me. You know, I don't feel like nobody above me. I'm the cash cow, I believe so. At 135, 130, I'm setting out ranges. I'm putting butts in the seat, so I don't think he's doing that. You know, so line him up. I'm a fighter. I'm willing to fight anybody. I'm ready.
You think he would fight you?
Of course, I think you know. Right now it's like people will fight me off of not being. I'm not trying to be cocky, but you know, off of them making it's a big risk, but also it's a big payday. So a lot of people want to get paid. You know, like he's at the end of his career, I believe. So so he not at the end of his career. He up in age. So he trying to make the biggest fights he can make at a short period of time. So everybody got that different path. I'm 25 years old. My stretch a little longer than his. So we're taking our time.
Okay, thank you. Make a final statement.
Thank you all for coming out. Keep supporting me. I fight for y'all. 2020 will be a big year. Thank y'all again.
My bad, I had it on mute. So I was saying that Loma had sold my bad. I was having some technical difficulties. So I was saying that hold on, let me pull up. I was saying that Loma sold 18,000 tickets when he fought Luke Campbell over in the UK. So that has to count, right? If you discredit that, then I was saying, if you didn't hear me, if I was muted, then you have to discredit the fact that Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia down in Texas a whole bunch of fun, in front of a whole bunch of Mexicans. So you could say that, did Errol Spence bring in those numbers or Mikey Garcia? Nonetheless, there's 18,000 there. So in Baltimore, his home, he's averaging 14,000 tickets, 15,000, 14.5 in that area. like be more ATL. So they saying that he moved to ATL and then another 8,000 over in Carson, California. So I mean, come on. Crazy. But he fought 3 times this year. But these 2 numbers right here, they're significant. Here, let's listen into this. It might do a little bit of clipping. I don't like using this Xfinity app because it for some reason they haven't optimized it, and it uses up like my memory for some reason, and I got a lot of memory. Like it really be fucking up my system when I use this. So if the videos start clipping in, you're just gonna have to listen in. But this is Jim Gray talking to he just left Gervonta Tank Davis. He's now about to talk to Gamboa. Please subscribe. 1 foot, one shoe Gamboa.
All right, let's bring you. How are you? You okay? And Felix De Jesus will translate.
¿Cómo te sientes, Yuriorkis?
Bien, bien, bien.
Bien, bien. He feels okay, but he definitely had problems with the foot.
What happened? Was it your shoe or was it your ankle? What happened to you?
Fue el tobillo, fue el tendón.
Partí el talón de Aquiles.
I think I ruptured my Achilles tendon.
In the second round after you went down?
Eso fue en el segundo round cuando te caíste. Yeah.
You were never able to.
Before I fell in the second round, that's when I hurt it.
You were never able to put much pressure on it. Did you know it right then that it snapped? Most people, when they have an Achilles rupture, they know it right then.
Tú supiste que ahí mismo había ruptura en el tendón cuando le pusiste cuando picaste.
Me estoy quejando cerrado, lo que pasa es que uno es un guerrero y sigue para adelante.
Yeah, no, I'm a warrior and I kept going, but as soon as I felt it, I knew it was ruptured.
Uno está mirando que yo estoy cojeando.
Yeah, people are seeing me that I'm hopping, like I can't put pressure on it.
You told your corner you can't go, and you told everybody who came in there. Did you think about stopping after the second round?
Después del segundo round, tú le dijiste a la esquina que no podía seguir, que te sentía un problema.
Le dije que tenía su martillo ahí, pero bueno, tú sabes, uno es un guerrero, tiene que seguir para adelante.
Yeah, I wanted to keep going. I mean, I did tell my corner this is the problem, but I wanted to keep going. I'm a warrior.
Could you detect that Tank Davis was maybe having a little lack of stamina, probably due to the weight issue and not making weight? Could you detect in the later rounds that he wasn't as fresh and as sharp as he had been earlier?
¿Tú pensaste que estaba perdiendo estamina Davis debido a que no hizo peso la primera vez? ¿Algo que tú podías tomar?
No, yo no estoy mirando eso. Yo trabajo de acuerdo con el boxeador, trabaja conmigo. Pero lo que no puedo ir era fincar bien mi pie.
Yeah, no, I didn't look at none of that. As a boxer, I try to see what I can do boxing him, and what I couldn't do is with my Achilles tendon, I couldn't go anymore.
Will you continue at your age, a very courageous performance? Do you want to continue at 135, or what will you do?
Bastante coraje lo que demostraste en esta noche. ¿Va a seguir en los 135 a la edad que tiene de 38 años?
Sí, no, el 135 me parece un buen peso. No hay ningún problema con eso.
¿Y va a seguir?
Sí, claro que sí.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going, and 135 is my weight. That I want to stay there.
You know, with an injury like that, it's going to take him a while to get back. It's going to take him a while to get back. So once again, with the way boxing is these days and how easy it is for fans to stream and all that, it's hard to believe that, you know, I want to see, you know, how fans feel when this pay-per-view gets announced. How are they going to sell it? What's the build-up content going to be like? Tank Davis has gotten better on a microphone, but he's still a ways to go. How are they going to sell it to you? Obviously, I'm going to buy it. It's my job to buy it. And you should buy it too. If you're especially, excuse me, I'm a hardcore boxing fan. And we, especially for us that do videos on YouTube, and it's a lot of us that don't follow this, we should be putting our money into the fight, especially if we're making money from the fights. So you have a lot of YouTubers who be streaming these motherfucking fights, and they be having credentials and shit talking about how they be streaming the fucking fights. And yet they be in the fucking boxers' faces and shit talking all this fucking black power shit and unity shit. That shit burns me the fuck up. So no matter what, if he takes that pay-per-view step, if it's against an opponent like Leo Santa Cruz, I would buy that fight as a hardcore boxing fan. How do they sell it to the casuals? You know, they think Wilder Fury 2 going to do $2 million and not doing a press tour. I can't wait to see how they do it. They saying just because the juggernaut of Fox and ESPN doing it together. I want to see. They better start shoving that shit down people's throats now. So we're going to be going hard for that. You know, because that's the pay-per-view they talking about now. Him versus Loma with Fox and I don't know. See, I don't even know about that. I don't know if that's a 500,000 pay-per-view by fight. But nonetheless, it's career high paydays for them both. But him versus Leo Santa Cruz, you know, that guy, I don't know. You know, the Mexican, the black versus Mexican rivalry. Yeah, you know, they're going to milk that shit. What do they do it? It's a Vegas fight. Leo Santa Cruz, you know, Leo Santa Cruz is Al Heyman's fucking child, basically. So if you notice, the top Al Heyman guys have been headlining pay-per-views. It's almost like Al Heyman is just like, all right, you know, I'm taking care of all you guys before I bounce. Like, Danny Garcia was supposed to fight Errol Spence on pay-per-view. He's going to get that. Keith Thurman got his pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder got 2 of them. Adrian Broner got 1. Andre Berto got 1. Fucking, you know, all the main top Heyman guys that he's had, like, since the beginning, like, his main top guys have gotten pay-per-views, the ones that have been able to sustain their records and their career. Leo Santa Cruz is next. Like, think about what I'm telling you. He's been giving all of his guys pay-per-views. Crazy. Almost like a cashing out type thing. So, and what's Leo Santa Cruz going to say about 130? And what's the penalty on money going to be like if Tank Davis don't make weight? Because obviously it's got to be a clause in the contract about that, right? It's got to be. You know, this is habitual with him. It's habitual. Like, he should have enough money now to have a strength and conditioning coach on deck. If not, Floyd, what the fuck is you doing? Go send him Alex Ariza. Don't you still got him on contract for eternity? Remember that shit? Signed him up for eternity. He used the same person that he was accusing Manny Pacquiao of juicing with. Floyd signed him up and used him himself. What the fuck? But people swept that shit under the rug. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. You know, Cash Cow, I don't know about that. Getting close. Ticket sales show it. But he's got some shit he got to work on.
Big turnout, and it just goes to show you what kind of star power Gervonta Davis has. And this train is going to keep on moving and keep on trucking. Any questions for me? Tank's next fight will be on pay-per-view. He's shown the fans across the world what kind of drawing power that he has. He has terrific star power. He puts behinds in the seats. The fans tune in because they want to see excitement, and that's what he brings to the table.